I was really lucky to get a job at a school whose cultural cohort reflects my own cultural background, and that's something I've always really wanted. Okay, guys, so let's talk about who or what you think supports you most as you establish your identity. I think for me, firstly, I have to say, I really love the team I have at school. They're so supportive. They push me to be the best teacher I am, and they're always giving me little resources and tips and hints, and they're never annoyed when I come knocking at their door for the fifth time in the day asking a question from them. And I feel really appreciative to have them in my life and supporting me in any new roles I want to undertake or responsibilities at the school. So I'd say that's the first group of people who I feel really support me to establish my identity as a teacher in the school. And then I think also my family and friends, them coming to terms with me as a teacher, as me having a job as well, but then also treating me still as just another 20-year-old, and knowing that, we're going to go out, I'm going to go out for brunch with my friends, I'm going to wear leggings and hoodies on a weekend because that's still who I am as a person. And then I think finally as well, I was really lucky to get a job at a school whose cultural cohort reflects my own cultural background, and that's something I've always really wanted, because for me, being half Chinese, half Australian, having that kind of duality, fights against itself sometimes, but then being in a school with students who are from a very similar background, and knowing it's okay to come to school with a thermos full of dumplings is, those small things that you take for granted, and I feel like they've made me feel really comfortable being a teacher. How do you feel about what supports you, Andy?
Yeah, I think sort of for me, it's probably just having a little bit of continuity. So continuity in classes taught. I think that once you get that down pat, that class for the first time, then I think once you're doing it second, third time, you do have those resources ready to go. It does allow you to spend more time on those other important things as well. I think, continuity, being at the same school for a period of time, teaching the same classes. I also think COVID last year didn't help us new beginning teachers because it was very, very disrupted. Yeah.
I'm going to sort of give the other side to that point, Andy, in that I completely agree with you that it takes some time to work out who you are and who you are as a teacher, and that continuity does help with that. But I'm also a big advocate of it, because it does take time to work out who you are. You can move around and find a school that fits you. And, I'm in my second year of teaching, and it took me a couple of schools and a couple of different contexts to find that really, really strong fit. And I'm a very, very big advocate of, considering interviews as not only the school just interviewing you to determine if you're a good fit, but you interviewing the school to determine if it's a good fit for you. And so that's something that I would really love for, pre-service teachers and those who are starting to get into that process to hear that it's okay to move around and find that fit, because when you do, then it's a really, really affirming experience. And Caitriona, I love your point about finding your colleagues, the support from your colleagues. And I just have to say, the four of us on Zoom, being able to share our experiences and our identities as becoming teachers in a platform such as this is super, super powerful for me. So it's finding your colleagues in school as well as across schools and in whatever space that you can find them. Did you have anything else to add, Linda?
Yeah, just a little thing, I think. Colleagues, obviously, yeah. I love also talking to colleagues who aren't necessarily in my faculty or in my domain. So I will be learning things from maths teachers, from science teachers, or whoever it is that I can have a chat with and say, what do you do in the class that makes it work, and just picking up on those skills. I also want to say my students, I think they really support who I am, you know, and sometimes if I'm feeling a bit flustered or if I'm not feeling too well, they know that and they know how to react and they know how to respond appropriately. So I'm really grateful for that. And I also think as teachers, I know we've only just started, I think, but also our own confidence in our teaching abilities to know that, yeah, we're doing the best that we can. We're going to look for ways to improve, but also we've got this. We just need a little bit of time to kind of manifest that into our careers and I guess in our classrooms in, I guess, the grand scheme of things.